So also music is a kind of non-purposive thing, because you don't either play music to reach a destination, nor do you dance to reach a particular place on the floor. It is the doing of it itself that is important. Music. It is the doing of it itself that is important.
So I'm out here, Kensington Market, downtown Toronto. It's hot as fuck today. So what you just saw me eat was a bunch of frozen blended up bananas with almond milk that's made at that local shop there, raw cocoa, hemp hearts, and all that sort of thing. And while that's not exactly the way that I'm always eating, it's what feels right for me today. So when it comes to your nutrition, there are a lot of factors to consider, and there's a lot of confusing information out there. I mean, go to any fucking bookstore and you're gonna find a truckload of different diet books, all of them telling you that they have the answer for you. Go on the internet, there's one person who's gonna be telling you that plant-based whole food diets, no meat at all, vegan diets are gonna be the best thing, and they're gonna save you and cure the whole world of all disease. And then flip side, you're gonna find people who are all about keto diets and high fat and moderate protein and like no to low carb, and that's going to be the savior of the whole human race. Well, I've got a news flash for you. I've got a news for you. It's not that simple. And diet is highly individualized. And we can figure out where you need to be by metabolic typing you. So essentially, when someone comes to me and comes to work with me, what we'll do is we'll go through a bunch of, on top of lifestyle questionnaires to figure out their overall stress and that sort of thing. We're also gonna type you and find out the types of foods and the ratios of foods that are gonna do best for you. And that's gonna put you in one of three categories. What that's gonna do is find out, are you more of a protein type or a polar type, if you will? Someone with backgrounds from either being native or Inuit, possibly having background from Scotland or Ireland, and European background and descent, where you might fare well on darker meats, fattier meats, more protein, less sugar, less starchy carbs, and that sort of thing. Or are you more of a carbohydrate type or an equator type? And that's going to be someone who has genes that were most likely from places like Asia, or hotter places that are closer to the equator, tropical areas, and that sort of thing, where you're going to fare well on more fruit, more starch, more plant foods, more beans, possibly more rice, and a lot less meat. And the meat that would be in your diet is going to be things that are more lighter in nature, with less fat and a higher protein content. Or you may fall into something that's somewhere in between, which you could think of as a more mixed type. And those are people who tend to have more of a mixed race background or a mixed background of parents or grandparents from different areas of the world. So once we figure that out as our base starting point, we can then start to fine-tune the diet depending upon your responses to it. And that takes skill from a coach like myself or a naturopath or a really skilled nutritionist to help you out with that. So if you don't know where to start, that's where you should start. Get some help. And then, because no one's out there writing the fucking You Diet book. There isn't. That's not on the shelf. There's no Tim Bell diet out on the shelf. It takes practice, and it takes time, and it takes a little bit of effort to fine-tune the diet for you. And then eventually what it becomes is something that gives you optimal energy and hormone expression and leaner mass, less body fat. And you'll sleep better, you'll feel better. Overall, your health will be much more vibrant when you're following this You diet, rather than someone else's diet who's telling you it worked for them and that you should do it. So, yeah, figuring out your diet is not as easy as it comes from a book. Get some fucking help with that shit.
Music. It is the doing of it itself that is important. Music.